What name is guy? Itauma. Moses Itauma. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
We'll do what we got to do in our own time and our own fashion. I think anybody he hits, anybody in the heavyweight division, if he catches them, he'll do some damage. He'll do some damage, and if he caught Usyk, he'd knock Usyk out.
People are saying you're hyping this guy too much. You seem ready for all of them. Are you ready for all of them?
What do you reckon, Gareth?
I think you're ready.
That would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now is just not the time. I just think it's just too early.
Usyk had no choice but to praise Moses' sensational knockout over Dillian Whyte, and honestly, who wouldn't? That was a brutal finish. Whyte looked like yesterday's man, while Moses looked like the new king in waiting. And to top it off, Moses calling Usyk out straight after? Pure brilliance. Where's she when a bruise eye?
Turkey's put out that he wants to see you fight Oleksandr Usyk next. Reaction to that?
I want to do it as well, but it's not in my hands, is it?
Would you fight him?
Of course.
Usyk Sep's reply felt cagey, almost like he was buying time. He mentioned Moses but dodged commitment, which says it all. After that brutal Whyte knockout, Usyk knows Moses is coming fast. The respect was there, but so was the hesitation, and hesitation in boxing means doubt.
I'm a little bit tired, I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know, because now I wanna think what next.
That's pure confidence from Moses. No hesitation, no second thoughts. Straight up fight Usyk next. At just 20 years old, he's showing the hunger and fearlessness that legends are built on. Unlike Usyk's cagey reply, Moses is ready now, and that puts all the pressure back on the champion.
Usyk, would you prefer to spend time with him in his training camp for his next fight, or fight him next?
Fight him next, then spend time with him.
April, May, it's Dubois, or April, May, it's Usyk. You say immediately yes?
Of course.
Fury didn't mince his words, and he's spot on. Moses is the fresh blood, while guys like Usyk, AJ, and the rest are slowing down. That Whyte knockout was proof youth, speed, and power will always overpower faded legs. If even Fury admits Usyk can't keep up, the writing's on the wall.
Boxing's young man's game and he waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Itauma will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, fucking whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even the world champion now, if they took my belts and give them to Usyk, Moses will wreck him, because he's a young man versus an old man.
And while Fury's hyping Moses up, Amir Khan had a more cautious take. Amir Khan plays the cautious card here, urging patience with Moses. But let's be real, patience isn't what boxing fans want after watching that demolition job on Dillian Whyte. Yes, Khan is right about Moses being young, but age doesn't change the fact he already looks miles ahead of so-called top names. Why hold him back when he's proving inside the ring that he belongs? Usyk didn't tiptoe his way into the spotlight. He took risks, and that's exactly what Moses is ready for. Amir's tone feels protective, but also slightly dismissive, as if Moses hasn't earned it yet. Truth is, Moses just sparked a former world-level fighter in Whyte with ease. If that's not proof of readiness, then what is? Sometimes talent is so explosive that you can't slow it down. Moses isn't just hype, he's a storm waiting to rip through the old guard now.
You want to see, obviously Turk Al-Sheikh was saying Oleksandr Usyk.
No, you know what, you don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy, you want to take it slow. Don't rush him, let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old, and that's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him. Let him keep on winning like this. I mean, if he'll keep on knocking him out, getting some good fighters, but not the world title level. I mean, what if he wins the world title at 21, what's he going to do then? He can't go backwards, you know what I mean?
So when he said Joseph Parker in there afterwards.
Rawling highlights the biggest truth in boxing: money drives everything. And let's face it, a Moses versus Usyk clash would generate huge interest. But while he praises Usyk as the best of his generation, he slips in the classic doubters line. I don't think that fight will ever happen. Why? Because deep down, pundits know Usyk doesn't truly want that smoke. Saying Moses needs rounds is just another way of stalling, of protecting the old champion from a young, hungry powerhouse. Moses doesn't need easy rounds. He needs challenges, and knocking Whyte cold was exactly that. Fans aren't fooled by these delay tactics. If the money's there and the demand keeps growing, then Usyk will have nowhere to hide. Generation versus generation, youth versus age. It's a fight boxing will eventually force, whether Usyk likes it or not.
Well, money always talks, doesn't it? And come on, I mean, it's going to be vast, isn't it? And you know, if Turkey wants it, if the big noises over here, the big money men are moving towards that, then they'll be pushing for that. But at the moment, he needs rounds, and who are you going to put him in against to get him rounds?
Adam Smith admits what many already see. Moses could beat most heavyweights in the world today. That's a staggering statement about a 20-year-old. But then he slips in the protective clause. Except Usyk and Whyte. It almost sounds like a safe hedge, a way of praising Moses while still defending the old guard. But here's the reality. Whyte already got battered by Usyk, and many fans believe Moses is already a more polished, more dangerous fighter than Whyte ever was. So why hide behind excuses? Not ready yet is the line pundits always use until a young star proves them wrong. Moses showed against Whyte that he's not just ready, he's ahead of schedule. His speed, power, and composure are frightening, and if Smith thinks he's only a step below Usyk, then that gap is closing faster than anyone expected.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. The top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet. Could he beat them tomorrow?
Spencer Brown nails it. Speed kills, and Moses proved it against Whyte. While he admits Dillian looked weak, that doesn't take away from what Moses did. Whyte was still an experienced, world-level heavyweight, and Moses dismantled him with frightening ease. The key point is every attribute you could want: speed, power, composure, confidence. Moses isn't a one-dimensional brawler, he's a complete fighter at just 20. That's terrifying for the division. Brown calls him a nice kid, but in the ring he's an executioner. When you combine natural ability with that killer instinct, you get a superstar in the making. Whyte was supposed to test Moses' chin, heart, and maturity, but instead he got folded like a journeyman. That's the sign of a generational talent. If speed really kills, then Moses is about to bury an entire era of heavyweights.
I don't know what he beat tonight in Dillian. All week he looks a bit weak to me. I don't know if you saw him, but look, you've got to take your hat off to him. He beat a seasoned top 10 fighter, or he was a top 10 fighter, and he's such a nice kid. He's got every attribute you could want, and he hurts and knocks people out. Speed kills. And
Joseph Parker gives Moses his flowers here, and it's well deserved. He points out what's glaringly obvious: at just 20 years old, Moses already looks like a complete fighter. Speed, power, movement, ring IQ, Parker lists them all, and that's rare praise from an established heavyweight. Most fighters at Moses' age are still learning their craft, struggling against gatekeepers, but Moses is out here destroying former world contenders like Whyte with ease. What makes Parker's words more powerful is the fact that he knows exactly how tough the heavyweight division is, and yet he openly admits Moses ticks every box. That special talent line says it all. You can't buy it, you can't fake it, you either have it or you don't. And Moses clearly does. Fans can feel it, fighters can see it, and even champions can't ignore it. If Parker, a respected veteran, is this impressed, then it's only a matter of time before Moses forces his way into the very top of the division.
I think he's a great talent. I think he's at 20 years old, he's put on this massive stage, fighting someone like Whyte who has the experience. But if you look at it, Moses ticks all the boxes in terms of speed, movement, ring IQ, probably packs power, you know. He's been knocking on everyone put in front of him, so he's a very special talent, and that's why everyone's excited about him as a fighter and as a
Dan Rafael looks at the business side, talking about Usyk's popularity and Parker's name value. But the subtext is clear: if Usyk versus Parker is being pitched, it's because people know Moses versus Usyk would be even bigger. Wembley, packed out, fans buzzing. Moses is already the kind of fighter who generates that level of hype, and he's barely started his career. Rafael admits Parker and Usyk could fill seats, but deep down, everyone knows the real money fight is the young lion versus the established champion. The fact that Rafael says Moses should get the opportunity speaks volumes. He's not dismissing it, he's accepting that it's inevitable. The hype is too strong, the talent too obvious, the demand too loud. Usyk may still carry the belts, but it's Moses carrying the excitement. If the boxing business is about what sells, then Moses is going to become unavoidable very soon. Forget Wembley for Parker. Moses is the one who could turn it into a spectacle.
So he should get the opportunity. He's also, by the way, you take that fight between Usyk and Parker, because of the popularity that Usyk has generated in the United Kingdom, and the fact that Parker is a very well-known fighter in the UK as well. You could put that there, and I don't know if you're going to sell out Wembley Stadium on a fight like that, but you can sell out any arena, in the country.
Dan Rafael looks at the business side, talking about Usyk's popularity and Parker's name value. But the subtext is clear: if Usyk versus Parker is being pitched, it's because people know Moses versus Usyk would be even bigger. Wembley, packed out, fans buzzing. Moses is already the kind of fighter who generates that level of hype, and he's barely started his career. Rafael admits Parker and Usyk could fill seats, but deep down, everyone knows the real money fight is the young lion versus the established champion. The fact that Rafael says Moses should get the opportunity speaks volumes. He's not dismissing it, he's accepting that it's inevitable. The hype is too strong, the talent too obvious, the demand too loud. Usyk may still carry the belts, but it's Moses carrying the excitement. If the boxing business is about what sells, then Moses is going to become unavoidable very soon. Forget Wembley for Parker. Moses is the one who could turn it into a spectacle. Moses Itauma's demolition of Dillian Whyte wasn't just a win, it was a warning to Usyk and the entire heavyweight division. At only 20, he's already forcing champions to second-guess themselves. If he topples Usyk, the new era begins. But if Usyk survives, his legacy grows stronger. So the question is simple: are you backing the young lion Moses or the old master Usyk? Drop your thoughts below.